back with another video. As you can tell by the title, this one is a full face of Barry M makeup. What I like most about Barry M is that they are a cheap brand, and they don't jeopardise the quality for the price. So you can get some really nice things for quite little money. I've been using the concealer, the Barry M All Night Long concealer, for the last probably around a year, and because of the quality of that, I thought there's got to be some other things that are decent. So I had a look anyway, and I thought it'd be great if we did a full face, because I know it's all very well and good spending a massive amount of money on makeup, but if you're not using it like, I don't know, like I do, or regularly enough, sort of like you use it when you go out or whatnot, then it might not be worth spending, you know, a lot of money on it. You know, some foundations and concealers are 30 to 40 quid, which is a lot of money in the grand scheme of things. So it's great to be able to go to the high street and, you know, buy a full face worth of products. But with some of the cheaper brands, you don't often know whether it's worth it. You know, sometimes there might be a few bits and bobs that are good, or sometimes there might be nothing that's any good. So I thought, being as though I've had quite a few things from Barry M, and I do like all of them, I do like the quality, I like the fact that they're cheap, I thought we'd do a full face video. So I've got everything Barry M, bar two things, I think, because I forgot. So I've got the prices of everything as well. Now, what I've bought, what the products that I've got here today are, they total £87.94p. Like, quite exact that number is, isn't it? So they are less than £90. And I don't think a full face of makeup, products for a full face of makeup, I don't think less than 90 quid is a massive outlay on makeup. I know some of you are probably like, oh my God, I would not consider spending £90 on makeup, but there are some people that, you know, do want to be able to buy a full face worth of products. And if you start buying the bigger brands, like I say, they're going to cost you a lot more money. I know I've looked like I've been dragged through a hedge backwards today, but I have nothing on my face, and I've not slept properly for the last few days, so I haven't felt very well. My hair is a mess, but I do have intentions with that. After I film this video, I'm going to go and film a video for nice big bouncy curls with my Lee Stafford big fat tongue. So I'm going to film that after I've done my makeup. So if you want to check that out, then skip through to the next video. So anyway, yeah, the first thing I'm going to do then is I'm going to prime my face. Now, the two primers that I've got from Barry M, one is water, so I've got the Hydrofix primer water, and I've got the Glowmance Soft Focus Revitalising Cream. Now, it says it primes skin and refreshes makeup. So this one is £6.99 and this one is £4.99. Now, I've used the Hydrofix primer water for quite a while now. I've been buying it for the last couple of years, and I do use it anyway on clients, so I do already like that. It's nice and fresh when you finished applying other primers, you know, cream primers, going in with a spray like that. It's nice and refreshing, and it kind of like sets everything and fixes the other primers in place. This one I haven't used before, the Glowmance, but I did try it on my hand, and it's got sort of like, so it's like a goldy colour, but it's got illuminating pigments in it, so it's going to give a nice radiant look underneath your makeup. And I'm just going to put it on with my fingers because, well, what else are you going to do? Well, I don't know if you're going to put it on with a brush. No, what time for that shizzle today? So I can't really see any of the sort of illuminating pigments on my face, but I can see it on my fingers. That stings my eyes a little bit. Oh my God, don't put it near your eyes. But it smells nice. I can't think what that smells like. It smells like something similar. Do not put it near your eyes. My God. Alright, you can see it just a little bit. Kind of looks glowy. And then just finish with a bit. Now normally, because I've got quite large pores around the sides of my nose and on my nose, I'd use a primer filler like the e.l.f. poreless putty, but it's Barry M and I couldn't, I mean I was looking online and I just wanted to get a primer, so I picked the Glow Months one. I didn't even think about getting another one because I'd already got this. In hindsight, I'd have probably found one that had got pore refining properties. Well, I don't know if this doesn't say anything about pore refining, so. But it's soft focus, so it's supposed to blur, which I imagine is what the illuminating particles do. So just a quick spray of that. So unlike normal, I'm going to do my face first and then my eyes, because I don't intend to do anything too heavy. So I'm just going to do it that way around. So foundation then, like I said to you, I've been using the Barry M All Night Long concealers that I love. So I thought I'd try the All Night Long foundation, which is this one. Now, it's supposed to be super long lasting. It's got moisturising vitamin E and antioxidizing fruit extracts for a healthy look. That's yours. That is $7.99. So again, in the grand scheme of things, it's not a massively expensive foundation, if it's any good. So let's see about that. Now I bought the shade Oatmeal, which looked like it was sort of most close to my facial skin, but I have Oatmeal concealer, and the Oatmeal concealer is the concealer that I use as a highlighting concealer. But the foundation looks to be a shade darker than the Oatmeal concealer. So just bear that in mind if you're matching up shade. Anyway, I'm just gonna put that on with my brush. This is a Zariva 105. It's actually a highlight brush, but I like it because, well, you know that I put it on with a beauty blender, right? But I like to put it on initially with a brush because you can use the brush hairs to push the foundation into the skin, which helps to fill those pores. That looks loads lighter on me, looking at it like that, but it's okay. Well, sorted out with bronzer. Maybe no, I think, you know what the problem is? It's been hot, hasn't it? I've been in the sun, so I think my face is actually browner than it normally is. But you know what? It matches my neck perfectly, because my neck is one of the areas that I can never tan, ever. Like my face will be brown and my chest will be brown and I'll have a bright white neck. So it just makes it stick out even more, like a turkey neck. This is a full coverage foundation, and I believe it is full coverage, but it seems to be drying like really quickly, and it's quite matte as well, so you're not getting that dewy effect with it that you know that I like. But it does appear to be quite full coverage, like it says. It's not really covered up any of my freckles on my face though. But then I do quite like that. I quite like that it hasn't. So I'm just going to use some of the setting spray on my Jeffree Star Beauty Blender. I couldn't find a Barry M one. This is the All Night Long setting spray, and that's $4.99. I've used this before as well, and it's extra strong, so it is quite tight whilst it's setting, but then your face will loosen after a while and it won't feel as tight after that. But I like to just slightly dampen my Beauty Blender with that, because it helps to really set the foundation and stop it from transferring. I guess you can always go in with another layer if you want to. Personally, I don't, because it does feel, it is quite, well, it's not thick, it's quite fluid when it comes out, but whilst it's on my face and it's dried as fast as it's dried, I don't feel comfortable putting another layer on because I feel it might separate. I don't know, I've not tried it, but I don't really want to. Anyway, my dark circles are insane at the moment, so I'm going to colour correct it ever so slightly with just a dab of colour corrector. This is the colour correcting wand. Orange is great for purpley blue dark circles. These are $4.49, the same price as the concealers. I probably should have done this before I put my foundation on, but hey ho. I'm literally using a very, very small amount just where it's the darkest. So my area is kind of here. You can see it comes down there and it goes right into the inner corner. So I'll put a dot there, and a dot there. And then the same on the other side. I'm not using a lot of it at all because it is quite pigmented. And then I just take a small fluffy brush just to blend it out. And where I'm blending, I'm going to keep it right on that dark circle. You don't want to take it into the areas where you've not got that pigment, because it could offset the tone of your skin. So once I've kind of blended that out, doesn't probably seem very blended to you, but it is. I'm just going to go over slightly with a little bit more foundation, just a tiny drop, just because I want to make sure that it fully covers that orange when I put the concealer on. So you can still sort of see the orange now I've put the foundation on. So concealer then, I'm using the All Night Long concealer. As I said, it's $4.49. I'm using the shade Oatmeal, which is the same shade as my foundation. However, it is slightly lighter, I feel. As you can see, it's kind of lighter than that. So with concealer, you might have heard me mention before, if you've got mature skin, if your skin is slightly older and you're more prone to fine lines, don't use as much concealer. You can get away with just 1 to 2 drops. I mean, mine is, and I perhaps shouldn't be using so much, but I do want to cover that orange that I've just put on. And then I'm just going to use a small beauty blender. Again, this is the Jeffree Star one. Spray over some setting spray. I'm just going to use the small beauty blender to blend that out. And you want to go quite lightly, especially if you're layering products like colour corrector and foundation. You want to press lightly. You by no means want to press harsh, because you're more prone to moving that product around. I mean, you can still see my dark circles ever so slightly, but mine are really bad. There's nothing I can do about it. That's just how they are. I've tried loads of creams, concealers, foundations, colour correcting, like you've just seen with the orange colour corrector. Nothing works. Makes it better, but it doesn't get rid of them completely. So one of the things I didn't get was setting powder, because I'm useless. I've got the memory of a fish. So I'm going to use another Drugstore powder. Now, it's not readily available in the shops, but you can buy it online from places like Beauty Bay. It's the RCMA No Colour Powder. You've probably heard me talk about it before. I do like it because of how fine it is. I'm just going to take that on a beauty blender. I'm not going to put too much on. I'm just going to press that. Again, if you've got more mature skin, try to avoid using so much powder. It's not necessary to bake. Just a little bit of a brush over, a light dusting of it should do you. I'm doing it because of my dark circles. That's the only reason. If they weren't as bad as what they are at the moment, then I wouldn't be using that much. Right, so eyebrows next. Another thing that I forgot to get was eyebrow product. Like I say, I'm an idiot. So I decided what I am going to do is, I did buy some of the Kohl eyeliner pencils. So I'm going to use a Kohl eyeliner pencil to do my eyebrows. And that sounds like really early 2000s-ish of me, but we're going to give it a go. So I'm going to use the spoolie off my normal eyebrow brush. It's just the Anastasia Beverly Hills 7B. I'm just going to brush out any powder and foundation or anything else from my brows. Oh my God. Now this is just a brown one. I'm just going to use it to fill in any little gaps. I'm not going to go too mad with it because I guess it'll look daft. So just any little gaps that I've got. Like that. The key with any eyebrow pencil, I guess, is to go slowly and really lightly. Don't put too much pressure on it, because the more pressure you put on, the bolder the pencil will be when it's on your brow. And then always brush it through with a spoolie, because it just breaks up any chunks of colour. I'm not bothered if I make a bit of a mess on my eye, because I'm going to carve them out anyway. Right, so that's that bit. Carving out. So I'm just going to use my concealer again, the oatmeal, which I keep putting away. I can't find. There it is. Just a little bit of that on the back of my hand. I'm just using my Peaches Makeup PC53 brush. It's just a flat, slightly angled concealer brush, just to carve out the bottom of the brow. So once they're done, I'm just going to use a few spots of concealer to prime my eyelids. And just use a little beauty blender just to pat that out. Normally I'd do it all fancy, la-di-da with no brushes, but this is more to show you what you can do. I'm going to take a little fluffy brush. This is the Peaches Makeup PC17. It's actually a highlighter brush, but I just use it for taking powder off. I'll just use whatever's remaining on there to set the lid. Right, okay, I'm going to do my eyes next. Now for eyes, I've got this little palette. This is the Wildlife palette. They do a couple of different ones. This is the Tiger one, so it's got like warm browns and neutrals, and then this like pop of green in the middle. These are £7.99, which I don't think is bad for, what, 9 shades? Especially if you're buying one like this that has got lots of neutral colours in that you can do lots of different things with, which is probably what I'm going to do. I'm just going to take a fluffy brush and the shade Savannah, which is this one here, nice warm brown. This is a 2-2, I think it might be a 3 crease brush. I'm going to put that all in my crease, all up in my crease. I'm going to kind of make it like a round shape though. So starting from the outer corner. Just kind of like pat it in there and bring it around. Almost all the way to the front, but not all the way. Almost. So Barry M actually stands for Barry Merrow. He was a guy that founded it. He died in 2014 though, and his son Dean took over it, so he's the like, CEO of it now. But he actually started in his mum's front garden selling nail varnishes. I guess what happened was he found a niche in the market. He found a way to revolutionise cosmetics in that era, because we're talking like the 1980s. And he started selling sort of like bright nail varnishes. For Barry M, it was all about colour, like bold, bright, neon colours. They were the first company actually to ever sell white eyeliners, and the sort of black lip and nail duos as well, which nobody else did. And of course, you know, the neon nail paints. Just making sure it's nice and blended out. on the edges, using whatever's remaining on my brush. Barry actually opened his first shop in 1982. That was the year my husband was born. A long ass time ago. 37 years, 38 years nearly. God, that makes me feel old, because Mark's like 5 years older than me. I'm 33 this year, and I feel it now. I feel 33, that's so sad. I've just kind of brought it around underneath just a little bit as well. I'm not going all the way. It's just to make sure that circle shape's nice and defined rather than just stopping at the lash line. Right, I'm going to use a flat brush. This is just a brush from the Candy Cosmetics 10-piece marble set. I'm going to take the shade Kingdom, which is this one here, just this shimmery brown shade, and put that on the inner portion of my lid. That's quite nice. I've used this palette before, but not that shade. I actually won this in a Barry M competition. Some of you might have seen it when I did the snake makeup on Jake. There we go. A bit shit to see on my... A bit rubbish to see on my phone. Right, and then put things down and I can't find them again. I'm just going to use a small fluffy brush. When I can find, there we are. Small fluffy brush. This is the MAC 221. I'm just going to use the shade Ferocious, which is like orange. It's an orange. On this. Sounds so professional today, don't I? I'm just going to take that on the outer V. So really just concentrate it into the outer portion of the lid there. A little bit underneath, just to keep that shape nice and round. Slightly up into the crease, ever so slightly, just so that I can blend it out over that last third of my eyelid, just so it blends in with the shimmer. This palette is actually signed by, I think her name's Emily Lamb. She's a wildlife painter. And this whole sort of like campaign, it was done for the David Shepherd Wildlife Foundation, which it tells you here, Barry M is working with David Shepherd Wildlife Foundation to help fund and raise awareness for their vital conservation work. So that's all good. I'm just going to use my my first fluffy brush just to make sure that it's blended out on the outer edge, so it's blended in with the the transition shade, the crease shade. Blah 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 blah. Okay, that's done. Right, so I want to try. I'm leaving the lower lash line, the lower eyelid, blank, because I think that whole nude look is quite nice, especially in the summer. But I'm just going to use my little clean fluffy brush here just to make sure that the shadow that I did put on the outer section is blended out. Pull that stupid face. I'm going to pop a bit of eyeliner on my lower waterline. I'm going to use a nude one. These, by the way, these kohl pencils are $2.99, which I don't think is too bad. Now, the great thing about nude or white eyeliners, white will make your eyes pop, nude will make your eyes look more awake, and obviously darks like browns is a more natural smoky effect, whereas black is a real heavy sort of smoky effect, which using dark colours will make your eyes seem smaller. So a nude is a great colour to really brighten your eyes up, make you look awake, and that's what I'm going to do on me, because I look like the death warmed up. Not like the Grim Reaper came to try and take me in the night. I think it's because it's been so warm. I've been so hot at night. I love the heat, don't get me wrong, I love the sun, although I can't seem to manage to last long in it nowadays. Sounds so old. So that's on. It kind of immediately like opens my eyes. I look a bit bizarre at the moment, I know, without any, my eyelashes need tinting, so bad. I'm just going to use a bit of mascara. I forgot to buy one, but I have used in the past the, what's it called? Is it the Roller Lash Mascara? Something like that. Something, I'll put it in the comments because I can't remember what it was, but I have used that and I did used to like that. But for now I'm just using some of my, my Benefit. This is the Bad Gal Bang. Expensive. If you ask me, most mascaras do the same thing anyway. It's more to do with the brush. And I would advise buying a brush with a sort of like a plasticky wand on it so they can pick out each individual lash. Right, that's that bit. Oh! Right, my pasty ass looking skin then. So I bought this. This is the Staycation Bronzer Palette. So in here there is a matte contour shade, and I don't know if there's a light and a medium. I just found the one and bought the one. So that's a matte contour shade, and this is sort of like a bronzer with a bit of a shimmer in it. Seeing as it's summer, although you wouldn't thought so today because it's raining, I'm just going to sort of mix the two together. It's a bit dusty, so, you know, don't do too much of that. Okay, and that's going to go where I normally put it, obviously. Cheekbones, under the cheekbone. That contour line. Remember the fish trick. If you can't find your natural lines, suck it up. And then you can see more or less where you're going to be putting it. Don't bring it all the way down to your mouth though. It's quite light, so I'm not really getting a great amount of pigment out of it really, but I mean, you can see it and it looks nice with the two shades mixed. And it's kind of nice and warm rather than just, you know, super ashy. And then jawline. Contour away the double chins. All 5 of them. Seeing as lockdown's given me a bloody belly. I can't blame lockdown, it's me being a pig. No, it's just not going out, isn't it? Not doing your normal thing. Obviously, when I'm working, I'm on my feet for like 8 hours a day, especially on a Saturday. I'm not working at the moment, I'm not doing anything, so I'm turning into a little fat pudding. And then forehead. And remember the 3-finger rule. If your forehead is bigger than 3 fingers, then contour. If it isn't, then don't. Mine is sort of like dead on 3 fingers, so I just contour the sides as opposed to going around the top as well, because I don't want to particularly shorten it any more than it is. But I do like to sort of bring it in slightly, and that gives you the look of it being like a sun-kissed look, like where you would naturally tan in the summer. There's nothing on my brush, I'm just kind of like blending it in. If you've got a super wide jaw here, mine is quite large, but I'll just show you anyway. If you've got a super wide jaw, you can do the number 3, which is in that kind of shape. So you're going around like that, which means you can contour out a small section of your jaw there, like that. If you can just see the difference, this side looks a little thinner and sleeker than this side does. So it does make a difference. If you want to thin down that section of your face, then just do the number 3. So you're taking it sort of where your ear is here. Right then, when I've got all the bronzer off of my brush, when I've farted about enough on my face, I just like to go over most of my face, which just blends out the edges of the bronzer. As soon as this is summer, just warming up the rest of the areas. You can't really say, you're not really adding anything on there, it's just a small amount, but it's making sure that the rest of your bronzer's blended, and add just a little bit of a colour into your face. Right, I'm going to use that bronzer just to do my nose contour and under my lip. I'm going to use my my Anastasia Beverly Hills brush from the Modern Renaissance palette. You can't buy them separately, I don't think. I'm just going to take the contour shade, the matte shade, and take that down on either side of my nose. So for me, for my nose shape, I go from top to bottom. Everyone has a different nose shape, so that contour style might not work for you. There are lots of videos out there on YouTube for you to search for your specific nose shape, and I would heavily recommend doing that if that's something that you're thinking about doing. But if your nose shape is similar to mine, then you can have a go at doing it this way. I like to take it right up into the brow as well and blend it out there. Just sort of like brings it all in. I mean, the main idea for me is to contour out this bulbous nose I've got at the end there. It drives me mad. Curse my genes every day for this frigging nose. And then just a little bit under my lip as well, that same matte shade. And all that does is give the impression of slightly fuller lips. Well, bottom lip. I wouldn't recommend doing it on your top lip because you probably look like you've got a tash. It's not sexy. Blush. Oh, that, by the way, I don't know if I said, that is $5.99, as well as the blush palette. I'm just using my little blush brush here. This is from the Candy Cosmetics marble brush set, and you can tell which one I use all the time. It's this sort of like peachy shimmer shade. None of the others have got shimmer in. You've got the pink, it's sort of like a tan, and then this apricot shade, which I don't know what purpose that serves because I can't even see it. Anyway, so I use this sort of peachy shade. I really take a little bit, and you just want to focus it on the apples of your cheeks. So when you smile, you can see these chubby parts here. And I just lightly apply it to there. And once you've built up the colour to where you want it to be on that part, you can then start to blend it out. So I've built up the colour there to the intensity that I want, and then I use the brush to blend it into the bronzer. I hate that you can see my dark circles still, that's so depressing. It's the light. Oh, that's better. Right, what we're doing now, highlighter, yes, okay, so I bought this. This is £6.49. This is the Baked Tri-Blend Highlighter in Silver Solstice. So it's like a silvery, obviously, silvery shade. So it's got that silver gold, and then this like rose gold colour in the middle. I'm not going to be picky. I'm just going to kind of go over all of them with my little brush. I'm just using the other end of the ABH brush from the Modern Renaissance palette. I'm going to do that on the inner corner. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Well, hello there. That's mesmerising, because you don't normally get like a really intense colour payoff like that with a normal drugstore highlighter. That's crazy. That's the kind of result that I get from my more expensive highlighters, if I'm being completely honest. And this one's only £6.50. So I'm just going to do that on my brow bone as well. Blah, blah, that sounded all gibberish. I'm going to do that on my brow bone as well. I can really sort of, I can see the silver in there and the rose gold as well. And that's kind of nice, especially with the colours that I've chosen for my eyes. On camera, it kind of just looks silver, but I can definitely, in the natural light here, see that hint of rose gold. I'm just going to use the other side just to blend out the bottom of that highlighter to make sure that I haven't got a line of it. I like to do the bridge of my nose as well, just there, because it kind of makes it seem a bit more snatched. If you're not a highlighter gal and you don't like using it, then by all means don't, or don't use as much, or don't use this one, or use what you're comfortable with. There's no rules. So Cupid's bow, like just a little dot on my chin there as well. Just where it's where the sun normally catches the high points of your face. That's where you want to put the highlighter. Doesn't always look flattering in every light. Kind of look like I've got a little bit of a highlighter moustache there. And then I'm going to take my MAC 224 fluffy blending brush. I like to use this for highlighter. Oh, do you know what I'm going to do first? I'm going to set it, because once you put the setting spray on, it makes the highlighter a lot more intense, and obviously you don't have to do it that way around if you don't want to. As before, it's just the all night long setting spray. Oh. That's intense. That's crazy. Honestly, you don't normally get this from a high street highlighter. I am gobsmacked at that. I really am. Remember, I do love a highlight, so you know it might not be for you with it being so intense. You can get another shade which is like a goldy shade. So you could probably try that one if you don't like the more silvery tones like I do. I like these kind of tones. I'm just going to take it round into that C shape, but I've not got too much on my brush, left on my brush now. Ow. Someone just flicked me in the eye. I'm just blending out what I've already got on my face. And then what I like to do is I like to take my bronzing brush and I just blend the highlighter from the underneath, so there's no kind of like line of highlighter, so like it all blends in with my bronzer. So right, I need some lashes, don't I? Now Barry M do lashes, and these are the Vegas Vibes lashes for $4.99. They do a few different styles actually. I got the set when I won the competition, and I've used a couple of pairs of them actually because they're quite nice. But the only downside to them is that the lash band is quite plasticky, and I don't know if you know what I mean by that, but it's quite a tough lash band. And it's quite thick really compared to the ones that I normally use. But it's solvable. These need trimming ever so slightly because my lashes aren't that long. I'm just going to take a little bit off the end there. I can already tell. You must measure. Measure twice, cut once. I do it all the time, so I'm quite used to knowing how long mine should be. But if you don't, definitely measure, put it up against your eye. For Christ's sake, don't follow me and then end up ruining your lashes. And then I'm going to take my black Duo Lash Glue, because those don't come with glue. The trick with lashes is to make sure the glue is tacky before you use them. Make sure you've given them at least 30 seconds before you attempt to put them on. Otherwise, they slip and slide all over the place. Right, I'm going to apply them with tweezers because for me that's the way I like to do it. I find that to be the easiest way. You don't have to copy me. Just do whatever's easiest for you. If you're struggling to fit lashes in general and you're having a bit of an issue with them, then do try the tweezer method. So leave them to go tacky for about 30 seconds. And then I take the lash in my tweezers like so. And I take my mirror. I look down into the mirror. I should move that out of the way first. I look down into the mirror and pop the lash on top of my lashes. So once I've got them on top, once I've got the lash on top, I pull up either end then to stick. And then I kind of just press sort of like down and up at the same time. So it's dead hard to explain. I just kind of press on them ever so gently to make sure they stick. And then for experts only, when you've got the lash on, I use them to pinch them together. You can buy lash applicators. I don't know where from or how much, but you can buy lash applicators that you can use to squeeze your eyelashes together. But I just use my tweezers, just be dead careful. I just use it to push the lash to my natural lashes to stick together. Right, lashes on. Lips next. So I've got this lip liner, and this is a lip liner in Toast, and I bought this separately, but you can get lip kits, which is a matte liquid lipstick. This is the Matte Me Up matte liquid lip paint and a liner that matches in the same shade. Obviously you can buy the set for £6.99. The liquid lipsticks individually are £4.99, so these shan't be a lot. £2.99, something like that, I imagine. But I'm using the shade Toast anyway, and I'm just going to line my lips first. I'm just going to stay close to my natural line, and then once I've outlined it, I'm going to bring it in slightly. And up slightly. Now I picked up this really nice gloss. It's the liquid holographic lip topper. And this is the shade Spellbound, and I'll just show you. It's a sort of like pink, like a pinky toned light reflecting, sort of like holographic lip gloss. And I'm just going to use this over this shade. I don't want to get it all over my wand though, which will contaminate the product, so I'm going to do it with a lip brush. And you can't really see it when it's on, but it's got this lovely sort of like pink flick to it. When the sun hits it, you can see like the shimmer, which is, it's nice. It makes a change anyway from having just a normal flat lip gloss. So that's me done. That's the full face of Barry M. All the products that you've seen cost less than £90. That highlighter is phenomenal for like £6.50. I'm really impressed with that. The foundation, it looks nice. I could use blending a bit more there. Never mind. The foundation looks nice. It's not heavy. It doesn't feel cakey on my skin. It is full coverage though. Perhaps a little bit, what I would class as a little bit too heavy for me to wear in the summer. But if you like that sort of heavier coverage, no matter what season it is, then you'll be fine with that. Everything else is really nice. I swear by the concealer anyway. I've used the setting spray and the High Fix primer for a long time. I'm not shook by the Glow Mance primer. It's not amazing. It didn't do any sort of job of anything really. It didn't illuminate my base or fill my pores or sort of the blurring effect that it promises, like this soft focus effect. I can't see that either. I couldn't see that either. But it might help my makeup stick, but that might be from the setting spray, so I don't really know. It's probably not something that I'd repurchase. I do like everything else though. The kohl pencils, the lip pencils, the brilliant, they're only £2.99, so the dirt cheap, no matter what rate you go through them. The bronzer is okay. I mean, it looks quite nice, but I've had to use a lot to sort of build it up, and I have better. But they are sort of like a little bit more expensive as well. So I guess for £5.99 it's not too bad. Same with the blusher though. The blusher, I swear by, I've had that for a long time. I continue to use that. That's also £5.99. What else quickly? The palettes, the eyeshadow palettes. I love the eyeshadows. They're buttery, they're soft, they're blendable, they're really pigmented. It's a super amount of shadows, you know, 9 shadows for £8, £7.99 they are, and I love that. And I love that there's a couple of different options. I like all the shades in this palette, even the green, although I probably won't use it. Can't comment on brow products because I'm an idiot and forgot. I do like Barry M's mascaras. They're definitely worth a try anyway. If you're looking for a new drugstore brand, I would highly recommend trying Barry M. Throw your money at Barry M. I know he'll appreciate it. Well, his son might. Yeah, throw your money that way, definitely, for a high street cosmetics brand. More or less everything is spot on, especially for the price. So the lashes though, I'm not sure. They're a little bit plasticky, they're a bit tricky to fit, but they look nice. So if you're experienced with like heavier, thicker lashes, then go ahead. I have the experience, but I don't particularly like wearing them. They're not as comfortable as like the K-Lash, my lashes. The K-Lash has a nice thin lash band on it, so they are easy to work with and easy to fit and a lot more natural looking. Anyhow, hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope I've given you a few little tips and a little bit of information about the company that is Barry M. I remember using Barry M Dazzle Dust when I was back in the early 2000s when I was in secondary school. I had powder blue and powder pink, and I just used to put it all over my eyelids. I loved it. People thought I looked ridiculous, but who cares? Anyway, I'm going to do my hair now, so I'm going to shoot that video. That one will be up shortly as well, if not tomorrow. So you guys take care for now, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.